Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Dynamite Watch Along. We are here, AEW Dynamite, Richmond, Virginia. Tonight, looks like it's going to be a banger card. Obviously, we have the AEW World Championship being defended, MJF and Roosh. This is a feud that has pretty much came out of nowhere. And one of those matches in AEW that's pretty much don't really have too much meaning, but it's going to be an absolute banger match. We've also got the TNT Championship being defended. So this is the Kevin Knight feud with Speedball Mike Bailey. This has obviously been going for a while now. The tag team has broken up after Kevin Knight has turned heel. So there's a lot more on the show tonight, but they are the main kind of attraction. So drop a comment, drop a thought about the show tonight. What are you most excited about tonight? Where are you watching from? If you haven't already, of course, join the community. Join the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, share as much as you can with your friends. Bring some friends in here. Bring the crew in. Let's talk pro wrestling. Let's talk AEW Dynamite, which is about to start very, very soon. I think it's going to be starting in about a minute. So drop a comment where you're watching from. And let's enjoy Dynamite tonight. I think it's going to be a very good show. AEW's been on a really good run in 2026 so far. And hopefully it's going to be very hard for them to maintain the number that they did last week. Very hard. Reason for that, I believe game 1 is tonight, if I'm not mistaken, for the NBA finals, if my NBA app is loading. But during playoff season, obviously there is a little bit of a drop sometimes. So we do get a bit of that drop coming. There's NHL playoffs, which have just, I think they've just finished. I'm not too much into the NFL, but NBA Finals, I think, is starting today. It is. It's starting in half an hour. So before the playoffs start, they got about half an hour on Dynamite, which is why they're going to be opening with MJF and Roosh for the world title. So trying to attract those viewers that are going to be switching over to the basketball. So, which I think is good. They need to start off. If you're not closing the show with the World Championship, you should be opening the show. So have no problems with that whatsoever. And here we go.
The biggest match of your career, your very first shot at the AEW World Championship, Roosh versus MJF. How are you feeling ahead of this match?
How I feel? Let me tell them how I feel. After beating the entire roster, after winning my matches in less than a minute, after waiting for more than 3 years, finally, I got my shot for the AEW World title.
I love Roosh, man.
I will die in the ring if that's what it takes. This is for my people. This is for my family. And this is for my pride. I will take the AEW World title. Because when you mess with the bull, go finish your cute little catchphrase. Go again. If you're the bull, that makes me the matador.
Starting off hot, I like it. So it's going to be a no count out brawl tonight as well because of this backstage brawl. I love Roosh, man. He brings this intensity that not many people do anymore in pro wrestling. Even though he can't speak great English, his promos are pretty good for someone who doesn't speak the greatest English. And he's just, again, his intensity in the ring, his intensity in his promos. I love him. I really do.
Championship. Plus our second of 2 championship matches tonight. Former friends face off. Will the shit Kevin Knight puts a TNT championship on against Speedball Mike Bailey. And the 2026 Owen Hart Foundation tournament continues in the women's side of things. Alex Windsor will face a wild card opponent in a first round matchup. And then the men's semifinal will be our main event tonight.
Owen Hart tournament semi-finals. That's going to be a banger too, Davis and Ospreay, especially with their backstory.
Away from this world championship match, but we just found out that this match
Look
is
at
now
Roosh,
a
man. He
no
just looks like a
countout
star
match.
too, doesn't he? Ooh, Andrade.
No vengo a hacerte suerte. Tú eres un cabrón bien hecho. Este campeonato es suyo. Tonight. Do it for your family. Do it por la raza.
La raza.
For anyone who say we can be world champion. Show everyone who Rush is. Because you mess with the ball.
Get the arms. Roosh is a beast, man. I love Roosh. I think it's going to be a hot crowd tonight as well. Richmond always brings it. Richmond, Virginia as well. Obviously the home of Hangman Adam Page. Do you reckon he's going to be showing up tonight? That is another possibility as well.
Nine straight singles victories across all competitions. El Toro Blanco Roosh is on the roll of his AEW career, and Taz, he has a massive opportunity tonight to parlay that win streak, not just in the 10th straight, but into becoming the first Mexican man to hold the AEW World Championship. Yeah, and Roosh is dialed in, you can tell.
I wasn't planning on going live for Dynamite today, to be honest, but I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Let's chat with the community, drop a comment where you're watching, what are you most excited about tonight as well. And if this is your first time here as well, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I go live every single week before Monday Night Raw, and we have a really good discussion there about the latest news, latest topics, latest issues with pro wrestling at the moment, and we'll definitely be breaking down this as well. What is he wearing? Oh, Matador.
Elected to give this AEW World Championship shot to Roosh and not to Mark Briscoe. I mentioned the single victory over Roosh that
MJF is in that kind of space where he's shown he can be a face, but he's just so much better as a heel. Like he is a quintessential heel. Turning him anything other than a heel, I think is the wrong move. Like he's just one of those guys that just has to stay like that for good. He really does. Never gets old, never gets tired. It's just a great character in all facets. Great wrestler in all facets.
The judge from Jalisco, Mexico, weighing 225 pounds, El Toro Blanco.
Roosh. Looks like a decent crowd there tonight as well. I think they've got about 3.5K in the house. So this is one thing with Dynamite and AEW as a whole over the past year. They've really picked up on those ticket sales. Obviously, it's not at the level that it should be, but it's a lot better than what they were doing last year. And I've just seen that Mark Briscoe and Leo Rush has been announced. I love that. I love what Leo Rush has been doing. His character work has been unbelievable. But this...
Your home city boy, Hangman, so he can never be champ again.
Oh, Hangman's coming, I reckon. With that mention. Back to Leo Rush, though. His character work has been incredible, but the bad thing is they're booking him wrong. He just keeps losing, and he's going to lose again tonight. They need to legitimize him a little bit.
He is the reigning and defending All Elite Wrestling World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
MJF.
it's never enough for this man. His ego is a bottomless pit, but our opening contest just moments away from kicking off. Referee Bryce Reps will join the assignment. And Tony, it's always special when the AEW World Championship is defended on Dynamite, on Collision. It's rare that it's in the opening contest. It just speaks of what a big show we have tonight.
Absolutely, top to bottom, I told you to go. And now, the devil in the ball, going to lock horns here.
MJF trying to stay toe-to-toe with our Total Bronco, which says, will you make of the champion's decision?
Not smart. And Jack Max, I respect him. I consider him a friend, but do not exchange strikes for Rush. But there's a big loogie in the challenger's head.
And MJF
Oh, now MJF says settle down and spits on him. Oh,
trying to get under the skin of the challenger and doing a good job, so until we kick off this AEW World Championship match. I just want to note that this title match will be presented with limited commercial interruptions as Rush building up momentum and by over the top. Rush is fired up. You can see it in his eyes, Taz.
yeah, he is, but he's also focused. He's not like the Reigns. He understands how big this moment is. This guy has a lot of legitimate experience being Rush. This is not just some challenger.
Man, one thing I want to do is really get on these Dynamite shows with my tweets. I never get on there, and it's really annoying. Tony Khan has liked my tweet. He has responded to me. Not actually hasn't responded to me. I shouldn't say that. He's liked a lot of my tweets recently, which I'm very, very happy about. Very happy about. But I want to get on the show. I would love to.
It's in his blood. His father, his three uncles, all pro wrestlers, as well as his two brothers. So a lot of pressure on him from within the family to come away with the AEW World Championship tonight.
I get that. It's a huge opportunity for Rush. I'm sure his family's watching on, but they're proud of him regardless of what he's done, good or bad, as a pro wrestler. Right now, he's looking pretty good against the champ, even though he's elite.
Taz, there's that camera cable. He needs to be careful here. Referee Bryce Remsburg imploring Rush to take the action back to the ring, but there's no count-out scenario, Tony. I think this benefits the challenger greatly.
There's no doubt, man. And that's why I go back to what happened earlier in the day. I think it was a mistake by MJF. Look at the intensity. And Rush says, no, that's all. Great move by MJF. Drop toe hold right onto the steel chair. You know, Rush took a little long before he came charging. I think Max made a pay. And sometimes, Sands, I guess you get too fired up, right? You do. Your intensity level gets too high and your adrenaline.
Leading into Forbidden Door is only 4 weeks away. I don't think they've sold too many tickets. I think they're going to end up with about probably 8, maybe 9,000 if they're lucky. It's one of those concepts that I think is a little bit dead and buried at the moment. Like it's kind of overstayed its welcome for me. I think anyway. I get it, I don't like the fact that if they have like other promotions fighting for other belts, because we know what the outcome is going to be. It should more be like, let's get a massive AEW World Championship match, a massive New Japan World Championship match, a massive CMLL World Championship match, Ring of Honor, Stardom. Have all championship matches that have stories around and have builds around them that culminate at Forbidden Door. It doesn't have to be an AEW versus New Japan or CMLL or whatever it is. Just showcase the best of those brands on that show rather than going head to head. Because again, we know if MJF is versing someone from New Japan or someone from CMLL, we know they're not going to be holding the AEW World Championship. We know that's not happening, or vice versa. So just showcase the best talent that you can for your product on that show. Why is Rush always so wet?
Look at this.
What was worse, Taz, the body shot or the shot to the jaw?
I think the shot to the jaw, that was insane.
Rush creates some distance across the ring.
You get the horns.
And now charging in MJF
It's another thing with Roosh. He's been very stop-start in AEW. He has had a lot of injuries and things like that, but when they put La Faction and got Benablade back, then he joined the Don Callis family, I think, for like 2 weeks, from what I can remember. They just need a bit more direction with him. This is a good start. Obviously, he's going to lose tonight, but at least it's a good start putting him in a prominent position. But giving him a bit of direction is going to be great. I like the Andrade kind of interaction we had there as well, but hopefully that leads to something with them. Aaron, my man, popped in to say good evening, bud. Hope you're keeping well and enjoy the show. Thanks, Aaron. I know you don't really watch Dynamite, but if you can get it somewhere, give it a look, mate. I know it's pretty late for you guys down in the UK as well.
These AEW World Championship matches, and he's so intelligent inside the ropes.
He really is, and I don't think MJF gets enough credit for it. I believe Roosh is split open right now, and because that exposed turnbuckle, oh God, you don't see anything else. You can see the gash above his right eye.
MJF taking those fingers into the open wound on the head of the challenger. Roosh trying to get back to a vertical base, and MJF doing a good job of anchoring Roosh down to the middle of the ring.
No one denies MJF's ability in the ring, like you gentlemen were talking about.
Is that blood I see on the roof? Well, no. Yes, it is, I believe. It is blood. Already.
Shut up and fight.
But Tony, how can you argue? He's the world champ, and he's not his first run at his three-time world champ.
It's a lot of blood, too.
Nasty challenger like Roosh split wide open right now.
I agree with everything about that, Taz, but it's just...
I don't mind the blood. I don't mind the gore. I don't mind the hardcore kind of style. A lot of people don't like that. That's what kind of turns them off, but I love it. I love this type of stuff. Obviously, it has to be done in moderation. AEW probably does it a little bit too much, but I love this type of shit. Again, this is what makes AEW different. Exactly that. Their product differentiates themselves from the WWE. Because a lot of the stuff they do, you'll never see on WWE television, which is why it's different. Whether you like it or not is a different story. But at least it's different. It gives you something different.
That was very clever of Roosh. MJF's turn to kiss the steel.
I think Lynchburg had his back. The referee had his back turned for a second time. He missed it. You can't blame the ref. This is no count out, no disqualification, so the ref's doing his job. Both men just moving slowly now.
MJF lining up Roosh, that right hand where Roosh fires back. Shots to the head, shots to the body. Now hammer throw across the ring. Roosh and slash in the corner. Keeping the pressure on MJF. As you mentioned, MJF a three-time AEW World Champion. He joined
Look at Roosh, man. He's just a beast.
12 of athletes to hold a world championship, a major world championship 3 times by 30 years of age.
Yeah, no, he's really got coming here, coming.
Like, hook.
Yeah, that's insanely impressive before 30, absolutely. But his MJF's title is it's in danger right now, in my view here.
That was 10 days ago at Double or Nothing. MJF defeating Darby Allin to claim the AEW World Championship for that 3rd time, but it could be slipping from his grasp before our eyes, Tony.
Yeah, and listen, for a first title defense, you gotta say this is title.
Right today, hooked and MJF kicked out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Taz, given the choices between
This is only the start of the show. Fearfully confident, my friend. We interact a lot on X. Thank you for the comment. Yes, it's only the start, mate. And again, this is what I love about AEW. They do stuff that you're not going to see on WWE television. They take risks. They make it more edgy, more hardcore, and I love it.
Vicious people coming in for you all the time. Jack Roosh, if you can prevent vicious, experienced killers coming after your belt, that's a good thing.
Stomping on the left elbow. El Toro Blanco Roosh. MJF likes that salt to the earth, his version of the Fujiwara.
Fearfully confident? Wow. Indeed, wow.
Roosh kicking out. He was trying to hold the arms very close to the body, but MJF has snatched that wrist and has Roosh in the salt of the earth in the center of the ring.
Well, he's keeping his hips high, is the champion, and he's really working on that left shoulder. Triceps effective. You could also tear a guy's bicep with this armbar. Yeah, and not only
So they've given us a lot in this match so far, but you've got the blood, you've got the kind of, I guess, not hardcore, but they're going pretty hard at the moment. This was made a no count out brawl, so you can only assume they're going to head into the crowd very, very shortly, and something's going to happen, something's going to pop off. Or else, why did they do that? It's not really going to make too much sense if they don't.
But no, Roosh avoids it, sends MJF off and lured him in the headbutt. Caught MJF square.
Maybe Andrade comes out after that interaction he had with Roosh at the start, maybe.
almost like he was rethinking what he was trying to do. He might have been. Definitely got caught. Yeah, the champions. You got to try to get him into the ring if you're Roosh to get a cover. But Roosh is hurting too. Fans here in Richmond, and I'm sure watching around the world, appreciative of the action kicking off Dynamite. A reminder, limited commercial interruptions for this AEW World Championship title match. Absolutely, and Roosh now just getting, Roosh gets surges of energy through his body. You can see it. It looks like sometimes he's
The crowd's into it.
all of a sudden he just pops right back up.
Ooh. They do a lot of apron work in AEW. A lot of apron work. Now that, it looks bad when he does it, but it was very, very safe. And that's the difference too. They're not taking those risks where it's just these stupid moves that are going to kill him. Like, they know what they're doing, these guys.
But he can't do it, as you can tell. I think if Roosh could have rolled him in the
Did you see MJF wrestle?
Definitely think you're right about that.
But to your point, Tony, Roosh is hurting. He's got a grin on his face. Maybe
His coach, Pat Buck. Yes, sorry. It takes a while to come up, fearfully. Yes, I did. I saw the... I saw a clip going around yesterday where they're fighting around in the crowd, and he grabs a little kid as a shield and things like that. So I like that. It was funny. Snowcloud Quicksilver. Good evening. Good evening to you, my friend. Let me know where you're watching from. I believe you are a first-time commentator as well. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream. And subscribe if you haven't already. And welcome to the community. If this is your first time here, mate, we go live sometimes for Dynamite. But every week before Monday Night Raw, we go live for our live show and talk about wrestling, all the issues, all the news, everything coming up. And it's a place where you can talk pro wrestling with the community, give any thoughts you have about pro wrestling and not get abused for it because people don't agree with you or they hate AEW, hate WWE, whatever. There's too much of that bullshit online, and that's what we're trying to do here, build a safe place for the wrestling fans. Is Roosh hurt here? He's talking a lot. I reckon he's popped his shoulder out.
our medical team's going to check on him now.
Remember, it is no count out here in this AEW World Championship title match.
Is this part of the show?
Ladies and gentlemen, due to both men being unfit, this match will not continue.
We are back live.
Okay, we're good. Excellent. I like that. I've never seen something like that. That was cool. I liked it. I like it for a couple reasons. Number one, it's different. Number two, it makes Roosh just looks like more of a badass. Number three, which is probably most important, it sells the pile driver for once like it should be, where MJF can't continue and he's pretty much dead. That's all around. That was cool. I like that a lot. Ludecki. Chris Ludecki. Yes, I just recognized who this was. Guys, if you haven't, Chris, drop your YouTube channel in here as well. If you haven't followed him, give him a follow as well. Who do you want MJF to face in Wembley? I just released a video on this, Chris. I believe it's going to be MJF and Ospreay at Wembley. Ospreay's going to win, and then that's going to lead to Full Gear, where it's going to be Ospreay and Kenny Omega. So they can tell that story and it's going to be long-term storytelling because this has been going since Revolution, the Omega Ospreay backstage segments and things like that. So that's where I think we're leading. That's where I think we should go. I think it's pretty obvious that Ospreay's going to win the Owen, head to Wembley, and he's going to take the title from MJF there. Ludek, sorry, man.
In this bad position, but Roos was trying maybe for a double underhook or it's the standard pile driver. Either way, that left arm is failing the challenger.
Yeah, Chris, drop your YouTube in the chat, and yeah, guys, if you haven't followed him, follow him now, and subscribe.
Maybe shoulder dislocation, separation, who knows? Could be a bicep tear, could be an ace.
I kind of like the going with the fact of the Roosh selling his shoulder as well, because it does protect him in some kind of way. And for a guy that's kind of come out of nowhere, ooh, okay, here we go. Now they're going to head into the crowd.
MJF is lucky. Very, very lucky he avoided.
No worries, Chris.
He could have been in the 6th row, if not further.
Do we think Hangman's coming out? Is that where we're heading here? In Virginia, they've made it a crowd, no disqualification into the crowd, no count-outs. It does open the door for that, and I don't mind it. But I would kind of like to see Hangman. I want to see some new people in this world title scene. Oh, he's struggling a bit here.
Dangerous here. Tombstone it was on that broken piece of barricade. Again, targeting the neck of Roosh and the knee of MJF. Take a look at this. The velocity with which Roosh hit that barricade. And this tombstone was insane. Oh my God.
Right in the barricade too.
Left knee, as you talk about, Taz, he's still gripping it.
Now remember, this AEW World Championship match.
Again, as I was saying, if Hangman does show up, he's obviously got the story there with MJF in built, but I would like to see the new guys be elevated into this title scene. Give us some fresh guys in there. That's a problem that we're having a lot with WWE at the moment. They keep relying on the same guys to have those world titles and be in that scene and clogging up that scene, especially older guys. You look at the past five years, you've had Cody, Roman, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and sprinkle in Gunther and Seth here and there. But there's no one else that's really been kind of elevated in there. Jacob Fatu's just been elevated. He's lost twice, but they're like, he was never going to be pushed into that role as a champion. Like, it wasn't realistic that he was going to win that. So it's just, I want to see some new guys in there. That's all. So I think having Roosh, even putting Ciampa in there, putting Andrade in there, it's giving us something fresh. So guys like Hangman, guys like Swerve, they can go for a mid-card title. Like they go for the TNT Championship, make that mean something. Go for the international title, make that mean something. They got too many titles that mean nothing in AEW.
Gets his opponent to come in, steps over.
Yeah, but I don't know about this time, though, man, because when he did that tombstone power drive at MJF, that his knee really hit hard.
It's a fair point. Only time will tell.
Bill Roosh, man, he can barely use his other arm to get one. Exactly.
Roosh slowly making his way to the top.
Ooh.
No, MJF bypasses him and now targets the arm. Brings Roosh over. As the hammerlock with the legs as
It's been a good match. I think it's going to probably end soon, but it's been a really good match for what it was.
on the verge of tapping out, but
And Roosh, I love what they've done here, because Roosh has really kind of come up as a badass. It's gone out, and that was a good job. I think they did what it needed to do. It did what it needed to do, 100%. We knew Roosh wasn't going to win. They gave us some excitement, a good way to open the show. Roosh didn't really lose any aura, didn't do anything bad for Roosh there. If anything, it made people notice him a little bit more. So I don't mind it at all.
the pain just becomes too much for the body to bear. He didn't want to quit, but unfortunately, his body made the decision for him.
Yeah, you just can't. Sometimes you're forced to tap. You just have to tap, which he didn't. He sucked it up and took the pain.
Maybe he starts beating him down. Andrade comes out.
Right, when you pull the head back away from that shoulder, that puts so much pressure on that, Taz. Too much pain.
Well, the shit, his shoulder and bicep, tricep. Who knows what's going on there?
But MJF, to his credit, he attacked it, and he retains his world title. Good on next.
Yeah. Someone's coming. Andrade, for sure. Oh, Briscoe. Okay, that makes sense after last week. Again, this is one of those things like Briscoe and Roosh. We've seen MJF, Briscoe. I get it. Briscoe is the last man to beat him, but he's realistically not going to win that title. So, like, it doesn't bring too much excitement. Other than a good match they're going to have, it doesn't bring too much excitement. A guy like Andrade can realistically win that belt. He's realistically someone that they can push there. So, I would rather see him in this position, to be honest.
The conglomeration rolls deep, luckily for Mark Briscoe, but MJF retains the AEW World Championship.
I love this song.
And fans, the Owen Hart Foundation tournament continues tonight. Alex Windsor faces the wild card in first round action. And our main event, Will Ospreay, Mark Davis, semifinal round action of the 2026 Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament. But coming up next, the black card, Leo Rush, Mark Briscoe, one-on-one. Don't go anywhere.
A good way to start the show, for sure. Definitely a good way to start the show. I thought they had a good match. I thought it was exciting. I thought, again, when you're putting these guys in that world title shot picture and you know they're not going to win, you have to make sure that they come out better than what they came in. And I think they did a good job with that with Roosh just now. He looked like a badass. They had a good match. The pre-show segment with them as well. I thought that it did everything it needed to do. Everything it needed to do. So guys, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, if you can do me a favor and share the stream, share the YouTube link, which is in the stream. Share the YouTube link, get some friends in here, invite your friends to watch, and let's build the community together. Like I said, I go live every week before Monday Night Raw. That's the main show. That's the Mark Zone. That's when we talk about all the wrestling news, all the latest updates for wrestling, what's coming up, and mainly all the latest issues in pro wrestling as well. Because there's a lot of things that have to be called out on both products at the moment, WWE and AEW. There's a lot that they can be doing better. And even things like TNA and things like that as well that need to kind of build on what they were supposed to be. TNA's really fallen off a cliff since they got that TV deal. They've really fallen off a cliff. Like, the creative is really bad. I've tried to watch them multiple times, and the creative is just not good at all. There's the arenas they're booking are the wrong kind of arenas. They're in this same position that AEW was in a few years ago, where they were booking these massive arenas and it was just completely empty. They've got their biggest show, Slammiversary, coming up. Last year, they had 7,500 people there, not packed the arena, but packed the bottom bowl, and they had a great crowd for TNA, one of the biggest crowds that they've ever had in their history. Slammiversary this year, they're struggling to even move 1,500 tickets. And that's down to the creative, and that's down to them also being a cuck to WWE. They were when they got this TV deal, they were relying way too heavily on their partnership with them to give them wrestlers, to put them on NXT, to get the wrestlers over to TNA to try and prop them up and things like that as well. And then they've kind of stopped doing that, and then they don't know what to do. I have heard, which is pretty interesting, I have heard from someone who is an Australian wrestler that went over to the States and is over in the States now. He had a trial with TNA. He also popped up on Ring of Honor a few times as well, and AEW. They were introduced to TNA through training with Gail Kim and Lance Storm, and they knew them, which is they're in. They got there and they said it was completely different to what we were expecting and what we were told, because the whole backstage, everything, the whole show was being run by the WWE. It's just WWE suits everywhere. they were calling the shots. They were pretty much running the show, which pretty much confirmed to me what I thought at the start of this partnership. TNA is having this partnership with WWE. TNA is just going to end up being consumed by the WWE, and they're going to be bought out by the WWE. That's WWE's whole plan. It was never to elevate TNA. It was to get them in a position, get them basically on their knees, buy them for pennies on the dollar, get their library, sell their library to streaming services, and absorb it into TKO. Leo Rush, again, I love Leo Rush. I love what he's doing with his character. I really do. The people are starting to take notice now as well. He's great in the ring too. I just think that they need to give him some wins, legitimize him a bit. He's doing all this character work, and it's for nothing.
Makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Honestly, what they don't know what guys they're frozen.
Well, he did say, Tony, on Saturday, the strategy is he can't see if you're not moving.
That was pretty funny with the conglomeration. Like you can't look at what Leo Rush is doing and not respect it. I mean, the guy's character work is just, we haven't really seen something like this in years. Like, it's been, when's the last time you've seen a character like this? Probably Bray Wyatt, maybe, and all that. But, like, this is still different. It's still very different.
Leo's talking. I mean, constantly talking to himself now. Apparently talking to Mark Briscoe.
And he's in the Mark, confused Mark. I'm pretty sure Briscoe hasn't seen nothing like Leo in Sussex County, Delaware, on a chicken farm. I promise you.
It's probably a Sussex County version of a chupacabra.
Could be.
Pollo cabra? Chupa pollo? The Bobcat show in Gremlins, apparently. As Leo Rush for the boot next to the ropes and quick footsteps by Leo Rush, now right eye to eye with Mark Briscoe. Swing this by Briscoe. Oh. Anti-carry next solid. Leo Rush, Leo against the ropes.
Redneck Kung Fu don't miss for Briscoe.
Leo hammer throw sends him into the ropes, and once again, boot up to the face.
Leo's been doing this a lot in the indies as well. This is where he kind of came up with that character. So I'm really glad he's brought it to Dynamite, to AEW TV. And again, I hope they just really take the ball and run with it and just give him some legitimacy, give him some type of sustained run, not just kind of show up and then disappear again.
Cactus Jack himself. Briscoe had enough.
I think you guys noticed that Leo still has the
Bang, bang.
lights on. So
Did anyone here watch the Mick Foley interview he had with Ariel Helwani yesterday? I did, and it was very interesting to see what he said about AEW and why he came over to the product. I love this Leo Rush, this crawl that he does. It's so cool. Yeah, one thing from that interview he had with Ariel Helwani, Mick Foley, one thing I was disappointed with is that he said that he doesn't want to go into that managerial authoritarian figure role, because I think he's awesome at that. But he doesn't want to do it because he said he's done it before, so he wants to do something different, which I get. But he was so good in that role, man. Like, I loved him. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I don't want to see the guy in the ring. It looks like it's going to be more of the backstage interviewer type role. And I think he wants to really be a manager. I think that's really what he wants to be at this point. Which will be good, but it depends who they pair him with and who they're teaming with, I guess. He's going to be a face, he's going to be a heel, that type of thing as well.
Mark is so enjoyable. He really is. I mean, he's tough. Just ask him, Jeff, how tough he is. Jeff wants to have nothing to do with him, but he is not only that, just a great guy to be around.
Stuck to the side of the rock.
He's interesting. Yes, he is.
That's why the conglomeration gets along. They have Mark
Chris, the most damaging thing to AEW was Punk saying Tony isn't a real boss and AEW wasn't what it was sold to him as is. I think it's taken almost 2 years to get fully past that perception. There was a lot of things he said in that interview with Helwani. But yeah, I've said a lot of times with CM Punk, I can't stand that guy. I actually hate him. I don't see what's so exciting about the guy in the ring. He's a great storyteller. He's good on the mic, but compared to what he was originally in his first run, he's just talking cheese. Everything the guy has said, he's gone back on. Everything the guy has said that he believes in and this and that, he's gone back on. He's just a complete fraud in my eyes. Like I can't stand the guy. But it's not to say what he was saying was wrong either. It's pretty obvious that Tony is a guy that he obviously loves wrestling, and the wrestlers to him are like God. So he would treat them as friends. He sees them as friends, and all of that. I think and a lot of the wrestlers have spoken about this too. MJF, Darby Allin, Hangman, like a lot of the wrestlers have spoken about this for the fact that in the past couple of years, the people that have left are people that didn't want to be there. They were using it as a stepping stone to get back to WWE, or they were using it for a paycheck, or they didn't have the right intentions. Now they've got to the point where the locker room is all on the same page. The locker room is all there to make the best of what they can. And Tony has changed his outlook as well on the WWE and firing back at them and throwing jabs at them and all that stuff like they were doing. He's been outspoken about that as well. So I think AEW has changed for the better since CM Punk has left, to be honest. And I think we see it in WWE as well. I don't think he gets along with a lot of people there. And I think it's for that reason too. Like, I can go on all day about what I think about him, but again, not to say what he was saying is wrong or he was lying. But what I would say is this: if you are a wrestler or if you are a wrestling fan, I think you'd rather work for a guy that absolutely lives, breathes, and absolutely loves pro wrestling and has wrestling at the forefront of everything he does than work for a company that is just purely based on making profits and making money. They don't give two shits about the actual product or the wrestlers, and we see that with their contracts. They sign wrestlers, they don't do anything with them, and then they just release them a year into their contract. And they still have this independent contractor thing. I don't think anyone can say that WWE treats their wrestlers better than AEW from that perspective. So, yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really know unless you're in the business. You're inside. It's all kind of speculation, I guess. See, Leo Rush is really starting to get over with fans with this work because it is different. Because it's I love it. I love it. The character work is unreal. But they need to start giving him some wins. They need to start legitimizing him because he's just going into these matches. He's going to keep losing. As much as he's getting over, they need to get him over. They need to start getting this guy some wins and some direction. And he's still wearing the crew gear, which is a bit weird, I think, as well, because that just I don't even think they're together anymore. So yeah, it's a lot of kind of moving pieces, a lot of missing pieces here that need to be put together. But Leo Rush is definitely on the right track. I think that's for sure.
San Jose, there you will see the finals of the 2026 On Heart Foundation Men's and Women's Tournament.
Now screaming Palm Strike City. Boy, and they are meeting their mark too, man. Those are great palm strikes. Briscoe's got that momentum right now on Leo.
Briscoe sends Leo Rush for a ride. Leo retreats to the corner. Briscoe pursues and just hammers Leo Rush.
One thing about Mark Briscoe, one thing that you realize that MJF does not want to deal with, he is relentless. Just stays with the action.
And leg hook cover made Leo Rush the very late escape. And remember what we were talking about earlier, Tony, that the last time MJF met Mark Briscoe, it was Briscoe that came away with the victory in that tables and tax match.
They're really selling this Briscoe MJF kind of last match feud type thing. But again, it's probably where they're heading for Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is, because it's sandwiched in between All In, and All In is really where they're heading. Forbidden Door is one of those things where it's kind of like a placeholder. At the moment, it's like a placeholder pay-per-view. So they obviously want the big payoff to be at All In, so they're not going to give us like a title change or a real marquee match for this show.
He went for that a second time, and Briscoe made him pay back in the head. Now Mike Briscoe, cutthroat driver perhaps. Yes, sir. Drives Leo down center of the ring. Briscoe.
And to be honest, in terms of a pay-per-view calendar as well, I really think your main show, like WrestleMania, for example, which is kind of at the start of the year, kind of March, April time, it should really be at the start of the year, your marquee show, rather than right in the middle or towards the end. Because your storyline should pay off and kind of reset around the start of the year rather than culminating at the middle of the year. If it's not going to be the start, it should be the end, in my opinion anyway. It just makes a little bit more sense.
Now, damn it, I got something to say. Mr. Cameraman, please come closer. Because I'm talking to one man and one man alone. And that's you, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Now let me lay something out for you, Max. Let me take you back to 2023, January 2023, the 17th of that month. My brother, my tag team partner for 20 plus years.
Been 3 years already, shit.
In the blink of an eye, gone, just like that. One day later, a few hours later, my birthday, January 18th. 1 week later,
Fuck, that would have been hard, man.
in our whole lives, January 25th, it's my brother's birthday. But instead of celebrating, eating birthday cake together, like we always have, I find myself making my debut in AEW. Making my debut alone. And Max, you can only imagine the whirlwind of emotions. I got all this grief, this anger, this rage that I gotta push down, I gotta bury deep inside me. Don't get me wrong, AEW might have saved my life because that was my therapy, man. That was my therapy. That's how I vented. That's how I got my anger out. But it's still deep down in my core. I still couldn't find no joy. Then I came across some friends, some buddies who was down to conglomerate. And man, my heart was full. Once again, the void was filled. I had some brothers again, and finally, I felt the joy of being a professional wrestler once again.
It's a great promo.
And then, Max, we crossed paths. And week by week, slowly but surely, with every bullshit sentence that came out of your mouth, that anger and that rage, it came back to the surface. And beyond that, because I've never felt the hatred that you made me feel, Max, I've never hated a man like I hate you. And you know damn well what happened when I got my hands on you. I pinned your bloody ass 1, 2, 3 right in the middle of this ring. And
then you went away, and it felt good. I was able to let my mind at ease once again. But sure enough, Max, your ugly ass head popped back up, and all the rage came right back to the surface. But now, the only difference, Max, is you got something that I want. You got that AEW World Title, and Max, I'm not like you. You bitch, whine, moan, and complain until you get your title shots. You throw a hissy fit until you get whatever opportunity you want. Well, let me tell you, Max, I'm a grinder. I don't complain. I come to work every day, do my job.
It's a great promo.
And Max,
And exactly what this feud needs.
I'm calling out your manhood. Max, I beat you. You say the best. You say you're the best. Prove it. Prove it, Max. Say you brought me to this place of darkness that I've never been, man. It's like I feel demons on me. Well, ain't that appropriate, devil? You call yourself the devil. Ain't that cute? Well, Big Hebrew, read this right here. It says, child of God. Max, devil, I don't know if you read the book, but you lose. Now quit being scared and give me a title shot, you moist ass bitch.
That was a great promo, man, and exactly what this needed. Exactly what this needed.
Briscoe, some very harsh words for the AEW World Champion MJF, but changing gears from the AEW World Championship to the TNT Championship, Kevin Knight, his questionable decisions over the last 10 days has led to this collision with his former friend.
Exactly what it needed. Like I said, I wasn't really invested in this MJF Briscoe feud because I've seen it before and he's not going to win. But that really put it to another level there.
I told Darby Allin not to let the jet down, not to let you people down, and guess what he did? He blew it.
Kevin, I hear what you're saying. The reason we work so well as a team.
Kevin Knight, I think, can be good as a heel. I think he needs a little bit of work on the promo side to feel believable as a heel. He looks like he just goes out there and he's saying lines from a script kind of thing. Like, it doesn't feel real as a heel. He's kind of like that with his promos in general, not just the heel work. So hopefully he can progress a little bit in that aspect. In the ring, he's got nothing more left to do. Like, the guy's incredible in the ring. He really is. But I just think he needs to come across a little bit more believable.
Don't you mind? This is an intense rivalry between former traveling companions.
Chris Gamma, how are you, mate? Do you watch WWE? Absolutely, I do. I watch everything, mate. AEW, WWE, TNA when I can, Ring of Honor when I can. MLW is back on YouTube. I watch that as well. 33. I watch JCW. I watch a lot of JCW every week as well. I watch literally everything, Chris. So live streams, it's hard for me to go live for Raw and SmackDown because it's on a weekend here. Dynamite is really the sweet spot, but I may be doing some Raw live streams. But we go live 1 hour before Raw every single week. That's the Mark Zone. That is the main show, the main live stream. We talk about all the wrestling that's gone on in the past week, all the issues, all the news, everything. So join us for the Mark Zone 1 hour before Raw every single week on the channel. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And comment below where are you from, Chris? Where are you watching from? I love Tekla, man. They need to keep the belt on Tekla as long as they can. She's just a star, man. You know where I can watch the NXT full show? I believe the full show on Netflix. If you're not in, well, I'm in Australia. We've got the whole library on Netflix.
From stardom comes to AEW. I would burn that company down to the ground, baby.
Tekla's a star, man.
When I was in Japan, they used to call me the idol killer. Because every
US of A. I'm not sure, Chris. Probably your best bet's getting a VPN and going on Netflix. That's probably your best bet, to be honest, because we've got everything on Netflix.
So, I had to take them all out. And then, yes, I did get fired from Japan. So now, we have to do it all over again. See, the Triangle of Madness has 3 jobs to do, you know? See, this violent little thing has to win the Owen Hart tournament, while this Sister of Sin has to get her TBS title back. But
I wonder if they're going to team Julia back with the House of Black when they return. Because Buddy's back. His ankle's better. He's going to be wrestling in Australia in October. So he is back. And it all signs kind of point to Alistair being back too.
to go over there. That doesn't matter because I'm going to close that door for damn good, baby. And I'm telling you, I am not declaring war on Stardom. I am
Do you know a good free VPN?
to Stardom.
I don't. I believe someone told me that if you buy a Google phone,
Message was
that you get free VPNs on the Google phone through their Safari or Chrome or whatever it is. But free VPN, I'm not sure. So she's doing a ladder match, is she? Is that what she's doing?
Of course, we'd like to apologize to our promotional partner, Stardom, for the actions of the AEW Women's World
So
Championship
are they doing a ladder match at
Spider-Man.
Forbidden Door? Is that what she's saying?
Tonight, Alex wins her
I didn't really get that ending. I mean, I get it that she spat on there, but the ladder and stuff just made it a little bit weird. They could have done that a little bit better. TG Championship, Speedball and Kevin. That's going to be a banger, man. Imagine like that match is going to fucking slap.
semi-final action in the Owen.
Ospreay and Davis is probably going to be the main event, I would assume. Okay, so we're on break. What do you think of the show so far, guys? I think it's been pretty good so far. It's been obviously we had the world title match opening of the show. It's always a good way to start. Leo Rush, great character. Love seeing him. And Briscoe, they had a good match too. And that Briscoe promo is really, really good. So I think they've done a good job so far. Obviously, they're trying to build to Forbidden Door, which is the next pay-per-view. Tekka's just cut that promo. So I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. It's not knocking your socks off, but it's been good. It's been good. And AEW's been really steady with this in 2026. This year's been a really good year for them, I think. They've really turned a corner creatively. And you can see that in the crowd. You can see that in the numbers everywhere you look as well. They still have a long, long way to go. But they're definitely on the right path. 100%. So let me know where you're watching from, guys. Let me know what you think of the show as well. Leave a comment. Invite some friends as well. Invite some friends. And let's talk pro wrestling. Invite them to the show. And make sure, again, you watch 1 hour before Raw, Mark Zone, every single week. That's where you'll find me. That's where you'll find us. That's where we talk all the issues in pro wrestling. So get your comments in, get your questions in, and we'll answer them live on every single show. And I'll be back in about a minute. I'm just going to grab a drink.
young boy Billy. Hey, tonight we need you to lock in. Last time you wasn't at 100%. Last time he dropped you on that little neck of yours.
Echo, what are you talking about?
You're right.
My bad.
I know Mark Davis has been taking up space in your mind. That memory, those thoughts. Now is the time to discard them forever. Right now. He's not a movie monster. It's Mark Davis. You know him. You've wrestled him. He's got 2 arms, 2 legs. You can beat him. And you're going to. That was a different guy. This is a different guy. This guy's never wrestled Mark Davis. This Will Ospreay, indestructible in mind and spirit, what you're becoming. Don Callis is going to have to hire a truck driver to run you over with an 18-wheeler if he wants to be here tonight. I don't like the temperature around here lately. All these groups and alliances and gang warfare. I don't like it. You don't worry about that. You've got one job tonight. Put your shoulders to the man, you break his arm, you stay on task. You beat Mark Davis. That's your job. Everything else.
I don't mind this story they're telling with the Death Riders and Ospreay. It's something different. Is he going to turn heel, or what's going to happen here?
For real. Don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. I'm starting to see it. Let's go.
You know what I would love, absolutely love to see? Imagine a tag team with Pac and Ospreay. Imagine a tag team with Pac and Ospreay running that tag division. Like, fuck, unreal. Andrade, love Andrade.
Or will the Don Callis family earn a spot in the finals at Forbidden Door? We will find out in tonight's main event. That's a pretty good
It's that is set for one fall. Approaching from Gomez Palacio Durango, Mexico. Weight 241 pounds. Andrade.
Tony, we'll touch on that a bit more in a moment. The fans, you are watching All Elite Wrestling on TBS. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Offering 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at progressive.com.
And it's for the DK Avenue.
Tony, before we turn our attention fully to this match, John, Moxley, over the last few weeks, has really been preaching metamorphosis to Will Ospreay, saying that Moxley's not the same athlete that he was yesterday. He's not the same athlete that he will be tomorrow. Likewise, same can be said about Will Ospreay.
And I agree with all that. I think Moxley has become quite. Oh, sorry about that.
I think this whole Andrade crowd photo thing, I think it's run its course now. It's getting a bit old. I like what they did in the pay-per-view, though, with, what's his name? With Luchasaurus. I thought that was funny. With the wig. That was great. But I think this whole kind of angle there is kind of run its course. So obviously it's going to be a bit of a squash match. Hopefully Andrade announces himself to MJF and Briscoe after this and progresses that. Because, again, I really want to see this guy in the main event. I really do.
He may have broken a nose, or I'm not sure. There's no blood, but that was right on the nose.
Okay, Van.
Two. No.
Andrade went up his opponent. Wants to dish out a little more punishment. And a love hook here. Double underhook. The DM. Now Andrade. 1, 2, 3.
Don't mind a squash match here and there. But I want to see him cut a promo now. If you're going to do a squash match, it has to end in a promo, in my opinion.
Fans don't like that. Me as a wrestler, I love that. Get it done quick. Go to the bar and have a drink. Andrade, he's been bristling as of late because of Don Callis' business relationship with MJF, preventing Andrade from challenging for the AEW Championship.
That
Promo, beautiful.
has the world title. I really want it. MGF, I know you read my friend, mi hermano, Bruce. But do you think you can beat me?
How you know?
Do you think you can be the real Latino man?
How you know?
How you know?
Well, Andrade making his case, but he's interrupted. Yeah. By the
There's a lot of underlying stories here of the Don Callis family. I love Don Callis. I think he's probably the best heel manager in the game. I really do. He does a great job with his talent. And there's a lot of underlying stories within the group that they can tell here. Jake Doyle's back after that bicep tear.
Most people make that face when Don Callis appears.
Absolutely. I'm sure good members of his own
Looks like he's going to wrestle too. Maybe he's going to get him to wrestle there after that squash. Jack Doyle's a fucking animal. Look at the guy.
Good job, Andrade. That was amazing. But right now, I have something very
Important to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Dolphins family.
He lost his chewing gum. He lost his chewing gum. Jesus Christ. Okay, so he's in the Don Callis family now. Now, do they need another member? No, they don't. Does he need Don Callis? No, he doesn't. I don't like this for the fact Kevin Knight, if he's going to turn heel, he needs to do it on his own. Having the crutch with Don Callis family, I don't like it. I don't know about it. I really don't. Again, underlying stories and things, yes, it does add to that. There's definitely more underlying stories that they can tell here. But I think Kevin Knight, he doesn't need this. He needs to be doing this on his own.
let everyone down by not beating MJF.
So what is Doyle doing there right now? Bit weird. Again, I get what they're trying to do, Andrade, TNT Championship, all this type of stuff. And tease it with Kevin Knight, the breakup, this and that. But I don't know. I just think he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to be with them. He doesn't need that kind of angle.
Callis was shouting something at Taz. Well, he was telling me that I don't have to do much to get talent, that type thing. He put himself over, and he should. I mean, Don there, he's got almost. I mean, he's got a gigantic family. It's a gigantic family of so many athletes. It seems to rotate like Danny having a middle-class athlete like Big Shit coming up. That's nothing short of a coup for Don Callis. I hate to give him the due, but I have to.
Speedball has to realize now the Don Callis family is going to see things that the Jet never did to with Jet Speed.
What do you guys think about Kevin and Don Callis? Do you reckon it's a good pairing? Is it going to work? Does he need them? What do you think about it?
With Don Callis and his family, I mean, you have tons of brotherhood, tons of backing in that group. That's number one. And then let's be honest, they're all over the place. Promotion, Dynamite, it's amazing. So, I mean, good for Kevin. So, let's Speedball out, now charging in. And Speedball first, excuse me, it's the quarter beat of those Skeeter Mix steps. Yeah, Mike Bailey definitely steps real hard.
I really don't know how Speedball wrestles with no shoes. I've never really understood that, to be honest. I mean, I get it, but I don't know how it's not uncomfortable, or even like your feet and your toes like against that mat and like shit like that. Like fuck that. Even wrestling, having to grab his feet and stuff. No good, man. No good.
Tag team partners you've been around a little bit of time. Either you stay together long term and you're successful, or you come to loathe each other. To familiarity breeds contempt, sort of thing. It happens a lot. I mean, that teams end up hating each other's guts. I mean, it does happen a lot. It's a lot of years in wrestling.
Guys, if you're watching, drop a comment. What do we think of Kevin Knight and Don Callis family? What do we think of the pairing? And here's the other question. Now with Jake Doyle at ringside, Don Callis family, obviously Speedball's going to get a beat down after this match. So who helps Speedball? I don't want to see the conglomeration. I've had enough of these guys. The Acclaimed, maybe? What am I talking about? The Acclaimed. Not the Acclaimed. Speaking of the Acclaimed, where is Max Caster? That's the other thing too. Oh, Speedball's great, man. I saw Speedball a couple of years ago when he came to Australia for World Series Wrestling, and just in the ring, he's just different. He looks different. He does a lot of the martial arts style in there. He's a high flyer. He's great. He really is in the ring.
At least for the moment, people might be able to go with now, Kevin Knight rolls in, whereas Bailey lights him with that shot. He lost this.
As you were exactly right on that last move, Speedball made the mistake, and right now he's paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's let the emotions, in my opinion, just feel pulling the match from guys. I feel like Bailey let his emotions and his anger towards his former best friend and tag team partner Kevin Knight get the best of it instead of focusing on getting the win and getting the TNT title. Bailey's been around long enough, he knows that. But again, your emotions can get the better of a lot of times in this sport.
Yeah, I understand that Don Callis Kevin Knight is there. Shocked enough to see Kevin Knight turn on Darby Allin and Denver Knight.
I'm not. Well, he's shocked. This is for selfish people. Okay, but you know that.
This is the other thing with the Don Callis family, because it's so big now and there's so many people involved. There's so many kind of, I guess, ways you can go storyline wise and things like that, right? How is a breakup going to happen? Where's that going to go? Like, is it going to lead to a mass, like a big blood and guts match or something like that? That's probably the, yeah. Ahmed, my man. I don't get it. He's okay in the mic, so he doesn't need Don Callis to talk on his behalf. He's talking about the Kevin Knight pairing.
The hammer throw, that number 6 Speedball's hard in that middle turnbuckle.
So Don Callis said, give up. Bailey is not going to give up.
Cover now. Leg is hooked. Bailey moved it down.
And you see, it's that depending on Don Callis in this match. And I mean, he's looking at it.
No, he's still on the team. He wants to make sure that he's doing what he's going first. You know Don Callis a little better than Tony Iommi. Do you know the incentives that the Don Callis family have? Do they have medical? Do they have vision? Do they have dental? Yes, they have all sorts of plans. They do that Don Callis.
I love Taz on commentary. I think Taz on commentary adds so much to the broadcast team. And Excalibur I like too. I don't really like I don't think Shivani adds much, to be honest. I think if in AEW, if we're talking, if you're going to do a 3-man booth, the best 3-man booth you can do, Taz, Nigel McGuinness, and Excalibur, I think, anyway. That's the best combination. You've got Excalibur who can do the play-by-play. You've got Bryan Danielson who can add the descriptions of the moves and things like that. And then you've got Taz who can add the comedy and the color. Like, that is a perfect combination.
Like you said earlier, it goes back a little back to familiarity with your opponent or your former partner.
Knight collects the arm, collects the leg.
The other thing with this as well, the breakup of this tag team and this match, I don't think it should have happened this quickly. They should have built this for. They should have just kept building this. Build this for not even Forbidden Door. They got Redemption coming up, which is I believe before All In, I believe, and that's in Montreal, which is I believe the hometown of Speedball. So yeah, I think they could have done a better job, even if it's just a couple more weeks of promos and beatdowns, backstage segments, this and that. Having a blow off after a week, I think, is probably the wrong move. They should have built this a little bit better, in my opinion. Oh shit! Fuck! He got him good. He caught him flush.
It's fine. It's your body. It's champ, but easier said than done. If you certainly all this energy and take so much punishment for both of these men.
That's what amazes me about all wrestlers. Those who've been to my right, what you guys have gone through in your career, what they've gone through in their career, they keep coming back.
Steve Mike Bailey locking eyes with Jake Doyle at ringside. This behemoth of a man returning from injured last week, already making his presence felt.
Here we go. Bit of an air crash here. No.
He landed on the apron, you get popped over like that. He landed on that apron very hard on his lower back and kicked it really, really hard. So I think that's what Bailey's feeling. You know, this is
Just over an hour into the show, so we've got about 45 minutes left, I believe, of the broadcast. Again, I think it's been a really good show. A lot of direction. It hasn't been kind of thrown together with just random matches, things like that. All the matches have pretty much had meaning or had a place in the show to lead to something, lead to promos, lead to a build. So I think it's been a really good show so far. And not that star heavy when you think about it. Yes, you've got MJF and you've got Ospreay in the main event too. But other than that, there's no, like, we're having these shows recently with Dynamite. There's no Omega, there's no Young Bucks, there's no Hangman, there's no Swerve. A lot of their stars are missing and they're still giving us good shows, really good shows. And I think that's really important too.
yeah, that's brutal. Catching the champ. He's able to check it.
Over to Kevin Knight, Brazilian, some great offense from his former tag team partner.
Just Roberts mentioned more than half of the time limit in this match, 20 minutes in, he left. It's wrestling with some more urgency.
surprised, but these two young men are really putting on a wrestling clinic. Great moves, great return. Right there, sit down.
Kevin Knight, the scramble. Bailey ready for it. Look at this. Difference, straight check. The award for the escape.
Bailey's hit my head off many times, and that just keeps coming back from basketball to continue for that Flamingo drive around the corner. That's the top rope.
Yeah, spot by Kevin, but he just needed another high round. To the Doyle. To the ring. Sweeps at the like a speedball chip, providing the distraction. The referee never saw it.
There's the plan. There's the Don Callis family.
This is what I mean, the Don Callis family. Like, it gets a bit stale after a while, the same shit all the time, same finishes all the time. Ooh, Jesus. Fuck, that did not look good. That did not look good. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. So Uranagi is his finisher now, is that right? What was he trying to do there? He fucking killed him.
Well, the membership of the Don Callis family already paid dividends for the shit Kevin Knight. As he retains the TNT.
Okay, let's deliver a good promo here. Give us a good promo here. Come on.
That's how you go right there. Now we just have to get rid of the damn weight. I was holding the check down ever since I've been here. So I linked up with Dog Perignon right here with the Dog Callis family. Make no doubt about it, dog. I'm here for one reason, and one reason only, to get straight to the top. Become champion. 2 belts, baby. So I'm waiting on you.
Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman surrounded on all
That,
sides, but
again, I said this for the past couple of weeks in my videos as well. And I released one yesterday. The AEW title scene is stacked at the moment. It really is. You got all these guys calling MJF out, Kevin Knight, Andrade, new guys coming into the scene. You've got Briscoe, you can say, and Rich, but we'll just leave them out. But Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, these new guys coming into the scene. Kenny Omega obviously is not new, but all the other guys are, and I love it.
And then we beat the tar off the Bang Bang Gang. Bang, 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 guys. Down. So, what's up to celebrate? So we brought ourselves some 5-second brews and some 5-second kazoos. That's a kazoo? Yeah, it's a kazoo. You guys are so annoying. Who let the dogs out?
Here are the Bucks after just saying they're not on TV.
Last week, it begs me to ask the question, what the dog doing? Okay, I know exactly what you guys are doing. You're the new guys, right? You're trying to
Dogs and the Bucks.
kudos to you guys.
Another good match. I like the Dogs. I think they get very unfairly kind of vilified.
You guys clearly think that you're next in line for the AEW Tag Team titles, right? But that's where I think different. I just don't see those tag team titles going to Bullet Club's worst leader ever and his tag team partner standing right there on Team Hangman. Hey, no, it's okay.
Team New Hangman.
You want to fight? You want to succeed? I think we just beat y'all at City people. We consider ourselves the number contenders. So if you want to go to the ring, we brought here. We can settle it tonight. Well, the number one contenders will wrestle when we feel like it.
Okay, I don't mind that. The Dogs need, since they've been brought into AEW, they got a bit kind of snake bitten with the injury of Gabe Kidd, because obviously they were going for the trios titles. They won the trios titles for a day, and then they dropped it because of the injury. Now, they do need a little bit better direction since they've been coming there, but putting them against the Young Bucks is going to give them a kind of high caliber match, and the Young Bucks are going to protect them in a way that not a lot of tag teams can, and put them over like not a lot of tag teams can, because they obviously got the legitimacy there. They can sell their asses off, and they can tell a story as well. So just reading something here in terms of the Dynamite ratings. Now, I had a bit of a back and forth with people today about the Dynamite ratings. They're obviously going to drop tonight. The game one of the NBA Finals is on, so this is obviously their biggest competition. So they're obviously going to drop from last week, just like SmackDown dropped last week as well. Wrestling is going to get hit hard by the NBA playoffs in the next couple of weeks, let's say. So, but you can't deny it. Everyone's clowning on Tony Khan for saying that the gap's closing and all this stuff, right? You can't deny in the past few years that AEW has closed a gap on WWE in terms of the viewership. Now, they're getting 650 to 700. And 650 to 700K without the inclusion of Max. Now, we don't know what the Max viewership is, but assuming it's 0, it's still higher than what they were doing last year and the year before on a more stringent Nielsen rating system that they're on now. So the Nielsen ratings when they were getting 650, 700K a couple of years ago wasn't including the Max viewership because it wasn't around then. And it was a much less stringent viewership system. So they included more people in that number. If they were to use the same system today, it'd probably be around that kind of 850K mark. And then if we include Max, who knows? So if we're looking at the WWE numbers, SmackDown just did just over 1 million, and they've been hovering around that mark for a while now. SmackDown a couple of years ago was doing close to 2 million. So the drop-off is there. So even when AEW were doing 800,000, 900,000 at their peak, and SmackDown was getting 1 million people more than them, the gap isn't 1 million anymore. So the gap has closed. Whether big or small, you can't deny the gap has closed. So that's the reality of the situation. Now, people will say they're never going to overtake WWE. I don't think anyone is really saying that. If you are, you're wrong. It's just the way it is. And we're back.
She retained the world title, but after the match, Mark Briscoe makes his way out there. He now wants a shot at your world title. What do you have to say about that?
Big shocker, Renee. Who doesn't want a shot at the best professional wrestler on God's green earth? Who doesn't want an opportunity? Still on that belt right there. That is the Triple B. That is the grandest, the most precious, the most important championship in all of professional wrestling. So color me awfully shocked that hick Mark Briscoe wants a chance at glory. Guess what, Mark? I've already tried to explain this to you, but since you're awfully slow, I'm going to try to make it real concise. No match for you, you pumpkin. That world title is for winners. That world title is for top guys. That world title is for guys like MJF, Generation Talents. That, my friends, you are not. I am the champion of the world. My word is bond. My word is the law. What I say goes, and nobody in this company can trust me. So, Mark Briscoe, for the last and final time, stop it.
And we all know that means that it is happening. Another good promo. It's pretty weird how he's in an ice bath with his wrist tape still. I don't know why you wouldn't take that off, but anyway, that's a different story. But Briscoe is going to come out with a bigger promo. Okay, so this is the women's tournament. Alex Windsor with the mystery opponent. Now, I don't think Mercedes Moné is going to come back tonight in Richmond, Virginia. I could be wrong, but I would probably think that it should be saved for something a little bit bigger. But by the same token, is that Ospreay's jacket? Looks like it. By the same token, I don't know who else it can be, really. Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, maybe. Maybe Ruby Soho. Britt Baker, I don't think is going to return. If she was going to return, it would have been last week when they were in Pennsylvania. So,
Now replaced by this wild card entrant. Who will it be? Yeah, man.
And her opponent, the wild card.
oh, it is Mercedes. Shit. It is Mercedes. It makes a lot of sense, but I didn't think she was going to return here.
Boston, Massachusetts, the city of Mercedes.
Good. I think they really needed it. Is this a new song? No, it's not. She looks real naked without a belt, doesn't she? Because we're so used to her holding 100 different belts.
We know one of the most decorated female wrestlers around the world has returned, and she's walking right over to a belt that she once held.
Mercedes, of course, won the 2025 Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. She still has that ceremonial title belt. And she is
Wait, is this a new song? It sounds like a new song. She looks like a star. She is a star. She's great in the ring. She's got a great look. I'm really happy she's back because I think that we needed some kind of more storylines going in this women's division. And Tekla, Mercedes, all in. Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. And looking at the bracket, I think it's hers. I don't know who else is gonna be that's gonna take it out. To be honest, Windsor's not gonna win it because she's gonna be going for those tag titles. So yeah, interesting.
Championship from Mercedes holds on to the Strong Championship, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Championship. Mercedes once held. It's a big night for Mercedes. Big night for AEW to have her back.
seven up to the ring. I mentioned some of we talk about the TBS Championship. You and I just addressed it this past Saturday at Collision, the TBS Championship. The new champion will be decided.
It's got to be a banger match too. They're both really good wrestlers, really great wrestlers.
Six qualifying championship points will be coming up in September. The survival of the fittest on July 1st. That'll be live right here on Dynamite.
Steps over to Alex Windsor, excited about our return to San Diego. Also excited about our return to Mexico City as Fox Sports Mexico will broke the news. Grand Slam Mexico takes place on Wednesday, August 5th from the Cathedral of Lucha Libre Arena, Mexico. Tickets available coming up this Saturday. And then plus we go back to Baltimore, Maryland, the Chesapeake Ports Insurance Arena on Wednesday, August 19th. And head to Reading, Pennsylvania this summer at Collision. Second, Mercedes will roll up there in Pennsylvania, just a one count. Use code AEW TV. Visit AEWTX.com. Scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen.
Alex Windsor and Mercedes, they're really good pro wrestlers. Windsor is a really good pro wrestler for the women. I just don't think she's really clicking with the crowd at the moment. And the gimmick. The Brawling Babes have really tried with the gimmick. I think they really need to put a little bit more focus on them rather than keep putting them in these singles competitions, singles matches, and all this stuff. Focus on the women's tag division, focus on the women's tag titles, and just give us the Brawling Babes. Don't give them singles matches like this, putting her in the Owen and putting Jamie Hayter in the world title match at the last pay-per-view at Double or Nothing. Focus on the tag titles and just tell that story coming into All In rather than just having these kind of placeholder matches that they're never going to win. I think it's been a really good show tonight. One thing I kind of use a lot of the time, there we go. One thing I like to do during Dynamite or Raw or SmackDown, whatever I'm watching, when I think it's a great show or if I think it's a bad show, I go on JD from NY's Twitter and just see what that guy's saying. And just see the perspective that other people have. Because I think 99.9% of the time when I think it's been a good show, he thinks it's a terrible show. And vice versa. So it's very interesting to see that kind of stuff, to be honest.
She used to come in here breaking all these belts. Now she's on the hunt. So it's a different type of person.
Which I personally think makes Mercedes even more dangerous.
That's right. No, Windsor. Hung on to the ankles. Great counter. Mercedes perhaps telegraphing it. Windsor looking for a sharpshooter, but Mercedes clutching onto that bottom rope. Sheer desperation. The former TDS champion. Windsor. Right elbow strike.
So we've got Mercedes that's just returned. We've got Tony Storm, who's been out for a long time. We've got girls like Britt Baker sitting at home. We've got Ruby Soho sitting at home. There's still a lot of women in this division that, like even girls like Deanna Purrazzo, she's doing a lot of work on Ring of Honor. But their women's division, oh, Jesus, that did not look good for her ankle there. Even Athena, Athena's still stuck in Ring of Honor. She pops up here and there, but I mean, seriously, let's get her on TV. Actually, that's a good point I've just brought up. Owens Hart Tournament bracket. Are they on the opposite side of the brackets? Where's the most recent bracket?
Not only has Mercedes been to the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, she's pinned out twins.
Okay, Persephone Suzuki-Waka. Sorry, Athena. Okay, so they're on opposite sides of the bracket, Athena and Mercedes. So the final looks like it's going to be Athena and Mercedes, which is going to bang. You've got, so it's going to be Athena versus probably Persephone, which is going to be unreal, and that's a rematch as well. Mercedes and Persephone, and then you've got probably Sky Blue and Athena. So, and then the final with Athena and Mercedes. That's how it should go anyway. So, the kind of story is there, and I'm here for it. I really am.
When you've had all the championships that Mercedes has had, when you have been really a legendary performer in women's wrestling. She's talking to herself here now.
Well, sometimes I do that, and I answer myself.
Yes.
We've done that. Back at the backstage hearing. Sometimes on it. Sometimes on air. Windsor, though, body shots. Trying to create some distance between herself and Mercedes Monet. Hammer throw. Mercedes sent to the corner. Windsor closing the dip for Mercedes. Ready for it. Windsor kick to the small of the back. Breaker. Leg hook cover made. And Taz, this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, for Mercedes Monet. It's, we talk about it ad nauseum, but it's worth repeating. There's only so much training you can do in the gym. There's no substitute for real in-ring action against a competitor that's not only trying to beat you, but a competitor that's trying to beat you to ultimately earn a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. Right, that competitor that didn't know who you were. She had to deal with the wild card situation. Now Mercedes covers Windsor.
So that's going to be the final, guys. Mercedes and Athena. Another rematch, another great match. I think their first match was, I believe it was in the Owen last year too, actually, at the Hammerstein Ballroom, if I'm not mistaken, which was a great match and one of the better women's matches of last year, to be honest as well. And it's going to raise a bar again this year. So Forbidden Door is going to be the finals of the Owen Cup tournament, and then they're going to lead to All In. So I would like to see Athena and Mercedes, and then probably Mercedes and Tekla at All In. They could do a lot of things with this as well. You've got Sky Blue in the tournament, which is obviously part of Tekla's group. You've got Athena there as well. Athena, who, again, needs to get off of Ring of Honor. We'll see what they do. But there is now, with Mercedes being injected into this, a lot of ways it can go. And then even Willow coming back. You've got the story of Mercedes and Willow. Willow can come back and say, I'm not injured anymore. You took my spot. And then that's the story inbuilt there. So
brings Mercedes down and clothesline in the corner. Windsor on the move. Mercedes swinging up this. Windsor ducks underneath. Misdirect by
Windsor.
Remember the finals, both the men's and women's 2026 Owen Hart Foundation tournament goes down at Forbidden Door Sunday, June 28th. You can still join us on
June 28th. So we're about, 3 weeks away from that.
match, and then the winner of the tournament will earn a shot at the AEW Men's World Championship, the AEW Women's World Championship, and all in London on Sunday, August 30th at Wembley Stadium.
They really need to start moving tickets for All In as well. It's looking not good at all. Like I said many times, going to Wembley again was a big mistake in my opinion. They shouldn't have done that. They've overshot again, and it's looking like it's going to backfire. I think they've only sold maybe 25,000 tickets. I know there's no matches that have been announced and all that type of thing, but if you're looking at where they were last time they went to Wembley compared to this time, at this same time period from the show to now, in a couple months, I think they're behind about 15,000 tickets, something like that. Like they're very well behind where they were. So, like I said, it's very much an overshot from Tony. He shouldn't have done this. And the main reason for me is when you've got this perception that AEW is so far behind WWE and it's like the crowd numbers are never great and all this stuff, you don't want to give any ammunition to those people that are looking at your biggest show and it's going to be a half empty, like literally even a quarter filled arena. It just, the aesthetic isn't great and it just doesn't help you in any facet whatsoever. You're much better going to a smaller arena, 25,000 in London, and packing that out rather than trying to sell 40,000 tickets at a half empty Wembley. Just aesthetically, just from the point of view of people that are always going to shit on you, you don't want to give them any reason to shit on you even more. And this is going to be a prime reason. Look at WrestleMania, for example, this year. WrestleMania sold 10, 15,000 less tickets than they did last year for each night. They were well below, especially the first night. I think it was the first night. The top decks were like quarter empty. And everyone was saying how bad it was, trolling them. This is terrible, blah, blah, blah. You have to have that same energy when you're talking about AEW as well. Because you can't be trolling WrestleMania when they're still doing 45, 50,000 people in the same place. And then look at AEW going back to Wembley, gone from 80 to 50 and now to probably about 35. It's a big drop off.
Mercedes with Winter's trouble, gentlemen. This thing turns to to kick out of that because Mercedes, now that you can see Mercedes is shocked that she couldn't get the win. Yeah, we all saw that one coming. The Mercedes landed it perfectly, but couldn't get the win. Here it is again, Taz. And you can see how the back balance his head. That's a tough move. The beautiful to kick out, very impressive. And Taz, you have to expect that these women are going to leave everything in the ring because the power against the middle buckle. The knees of the corner, Windsor slides free, the roll up, stacked by Windsor. Mercedes able to kick out. Now Mercedes, big predicament of her own. Windsor escapes. Windsor underneath, and now traps Mercedes. He's got a tight. Mercedes able to break free again. Windsor off the ropes. Mercedes picks the ankles, rolls it through two. Back and forth, pinfall attempts. Oh, Mercedes the knee.
Oh, Jesus. That's over. Yeah. Good match. It was a good match. It was always going to be a good match for these two in the ring. Mercedes is obviously staying heel. She's holding this hold as long as she can. I would love to see her cut a promo now. Give us a bit of an explanation. Give us a bit of something to stick our teeth into. She needs to cut a promo here. I think anyway. Or even if she's not going to cut a promo, they need to go backstage and give her something. Athena Mercedes, man, that's going to bang. taking her belt back. That's technically her belt.
Hazuki, the winner, will move on to face Mercedes Monet in the semifinals. All that, so much more going down this Saturday. Collision live coast to coast. Representing CML Persephone.
I like it. I like it because I was looking at this women's bracket at the start when they announced it, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, there's nothing really here that excites me at all, to be honest. Nothing at all. Divine Dominion, Anna Jay and Ty Miller. I would not mind seeing them take the belts off of them, give them that build, and just give them the titles until All In, and then they can drop it to the Brawling Babe. That should be the play, in my opinion. That really should be the play. Divine Dominion's been great. They look like monsters. They look unstoppable. But PJ, like, they're trying to build them as the people, and day one is this and that. They need to pull the trigger.
Seemed like they were seconds away from defeating Divine Dominion. Can they make a repeat performance this Saturday night live coast to coast? And then next Wednesday night, first round action in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Sky Blue battles the Japanese sensation Serene. And then in the men's side of the tournament, in the semifinals, who will earn their spot at Forbidden Door will be Big and Bad Brody King or Swerve Strickland. But coming up next, Will Ospreay, Godzilla Martin, the semifinals match. A spot at Forbidden Door on the line in our...
It's going to be a great main event. It really is. You've got story built in it. Ospreay's new kind of direction with the Death Riders. And these guys in the ring together are not going to have a bad match.
He's talking about the Don Callis family. I've recruited many top stars. But when you're as successful as we are, I'm like a magnet for the gold. It just comes to me, and that's what happened with the TNT champion Kevin Knight, who's going to reach new heights and become the greatest TNT champion of all time with the help of the Don Callis family. And in just minutes from now, Mark Bicon Davis.
Don Callis in a cravat just works just because he looks like a dickhead.
Finish our business. Go on and win the Owen. And the Don Callis family will march in lockstep into the main event of All In London, England. And that leaves us with just one piece of business to take care of. This man, who's the greatest bell-to-bell wrestler I've ever seen, you got screwed. And we are not going to stand for it.
Takeshita, you are nothing without this family. My international title doesn't belong in a backpack. And it won't be there for long.
Let's go take care of that, buddy. I love that.
I like it. I think the payoff, the Okada Takeshita, it's 1-1 now. It's 1-1. So I think the play for them is to go to All In for that title. And that makes all the sense in the world. The match at Double or Nothing is, if it's not the best match, the only thing that has topped it, in my opinion, was the El Grande Americano match last weekend. It's those top two for sure. So, and you know when those two get in the ring, they're not going to have a bad match, especially with the story that they've got inbuilt here. All In. The All In card, if they book this correctly, if they book this the right way, could possibly be the best card on paper that they've put on maybe ever. You've got Tekla and Mercedes. Let's look at the women. Tekla and Mercedes. That match is going to be like off the chain. It's going to be probably better than Toni Storm and Mercedes as well. Match is going to be off the chain. You got the women's tag titles. You got Divine Dominion, hopefully, against the Brawling Bays. It's going to be a hometown pop. There's going to be a lot of heat there. That's going to be a good match. Jamie Hayter's great. Alex Winter's great. You got the men's world tag team titles. There's a lot of things that can happen with the tag team titles, but I think with the recent releases, we're going to be leading to a 4, 5, or 6-way match. Cage and Cope, Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns, The New Day, and maybe even House of Black, maybe even Hurt Syndicate. Just getting all of these guys in there at once will be off the chain. The world title scene, you got MJF and Ospreay, or MJF Omega, Ospreay Omega. Like the guys that are going to be in that world title scene are just going to be, again, nuts. You got guys like Jay White, who's going to be returning very, very soon. And the guys like, again, Okada, Takeshita, they're going to be doing, hopefully Okada, Takeshita again. The matches they're going to have on paper for All In is probably going to be the best card that they've put on, I think. Then you've got the Casino Gauntlet as well, which is probably where a Jay White will return or something. Casino Gauntlet is always fun. So, yeah, I'm really excited for All In. They just need to build it the right way. Give us, not just rely on the names on the card, not just rely on the matches that they're going to be putting together, but actually give us proper stories leading up to that. Telling proper stories is the main thing, because that's what we all want. We want these matches to mean something. We want these stories to mean something. We want a direction. It's all well and good having banger matches and all this shit, but give us a story to really sink our teeth into it. So what do you think of the show so far, guys? Oh, I've just seen Chris Van Vliet has just shared LA Knight is on Insight tomorrow. That's going to be the banger. Ciampa and Jericho, it's another story they're telling. I tweeted this last week. I would love Ciampa to just be walking around backstage during segments and things, just reading different reasons that he hates him on that list.
All right, Tom. Still, because a psycho killer beat the hell out of him, and I would gladly do it again and again and again. Christian made your triumphant return to AEW. The fans welcomed you back with open arms. You finally defeated Ricochet, and then reality struck. What is that reality? While you were gone, Chris, sponsorship out to AEW. And I quickly marked my territory in what better way than to plant my flag in the ground. Chop the head off the snake that is known as Jericho.
I really want Ciampa at the top of the card, man. I love Ciampa.
A patient man with a long list. So stay away. Lick your wounds. But if you do return, I will be beaten. That is, unless of course I strike first. You stupid idiot.
I love Ciampa, man. Elevated. All right, guys, I'm going to let you enjoy the main event. And I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. But thank you, everyone, for joining me. Join the channel, subscribe to the channel, invite your friends. Like I said, 1 hour before Raw every single week, we go live for the Mark Zone. Join the Mark Zone, and we'll see you guys next time. And thank you, everyone, for watching.